of any kind. In an era of senselessness like this one, evil is at liberty and seduces the unwise. Here it is others' anger that hurts you. There it is unbridled sex that unnerves you. Over there is the ambition that sparks your interest. Vice is nearby, capturing victims. Disturbing entertainment in all around you. Everywhere, the victory of crime and the dissolution of good customs multiply their tentacles like a cruel, dominating octopus. Look on these conditions as a path of poisonous thistles which the green, pleasant grass hides on the ground. Do not let you step on them and avoid accidents of damaging effects. So that was a beautiful reading. So let's close our eyes, elevate our thoughts to God, our Creator, to Jesus Christ, our loving guide, the one who shines his light towards God himself through the path of goodness and light. And let's harmonize with the spirits present here today that bring us peace, harmony, and clarity of mind so we can hear Raphael's lecture and bring it into our hearts, into our minds, into our souls, so we can become better today than we were yesterday. Give us peace, and let's get together in this beautiful and harmonious place. So be it. So today, Raphael is going to be talking to us about the dealing with earthly possessions. Thank you, Raphael.
Thank you, Hannah. Morning, guys. Good morning, those who are watching us through the internet, online. And may Jesus bless us all at this morning. Another Sunday of lecture, another Sunday of learning. And I also want to request for this blessing to our families who are on the other side of life in the spiritual plane. May they also receive these words, these teachings, and our love. So before I start, I'd just like to mention that we are trying something new. So at the back, you'll see that there's a small box for questions with papers and pens. So whatever question, comment you have, you can just write in a piece of paper, put in the box, and then we'll read after the lecture. So whatever, there are no rules. So whatever you guys want to put in there, you are welcome to. So the lecture today is about earthly possessions. And in order to give the angle that I want, I will have to, I need to talk a little bit of a concept from thermodynamics that's deeply embedded in the codification. It's nothing hard, it's just something that is very important for us to understand earthly possessions and the relationship between that and our spiritual nature. So on Friday nights, my Friday nights, is the moment that is my meditation moment. I get home, I go to my backyard, I turn on my barbecue grill, and I cook for the week, for the next week. And at that moment, and sometimes I light a fire in the fire pit. So all that is very relaxing to me. And is sitting there and looking at the fire is when I start thinking about my week. And one of the things that I always think about or I feel is the gratitude for everything that we are blessed with. Living in a wonderful country, in a wonderful planet that is so pretty. There's so many beautiful things to see. I feel gratitude for my family, for my two dogs, for being there, sitting and doing my barbecue. And I also think on that this is all part. Oh, thank you, Sandra. I forgot. It's all part of God's plan for us. It's to make us happy. God's law, nature's law, universal law, is happiness for all of us. The only problem is that we need to stop preventing it. But the natural course of our lives is to be happy. But God respects our choices, even when we move away from that happiness on our own accord. So sometimes we feel uncomfortable for being happy that maybe something bad is going to happen. That's the nature of the universe, is making us happy. The more we develop our virtues, the more pleasures come with those virtues. The more vices we fail to fight with, the more sufferings come. So it's us. So this is just me doing my barbecue and thinking about those things. And I also think about the routine. So another week went by like this. And then it starts Saturday, and there's so many chores to do, so many things to do. You have to clean the house again, because you just cleaned a week ago and the house is dirty. It's dusty. We have no idea where it comes from. You close all the windows, you close everything, it doesn't matter. Dishes. You are always, so you may think that this has nothing to do with spiritism. Yes, it does. I'm going to get there. And then you have to clean the bed sheets or your clothes. So you're always doing chores and you never stop. You never stop. You are constantly maintaining, constantly. The more possessions we have, the more work we have to maintain those possessions. And then I prepare to go to work, and I look at the mirror and I see my hair growing white or whatever is left. I see my skin changing to a point that sometimes I see the reflection in the mirror. Who is that person? I see myself, I'm talking here, and I see myself as I was 20 years ago. So we have this degradation around us in our lives. Everything is always degrading. Everything that we have, even our bodies. And what is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of week after week after week, you keep having to clean your house? And it never ends until your house gets so old that you just have to sell it and buy a new one, or it's just going to be demolished. So this, and sometimes we refer to this, oh, that's time. And weeks and years and days and hours, but that's not the meaning. That is just a log. That's a way for us to log this. We buy a car and we see we are told that the car is going to last for 10 years. What does that mean? This is just because we live in a giant clock. It's our planet going around the sun is a clock. That's what it means, a day. So if I imagine spirits, okay, two spirits that are living in the universe. And one of them says, oh yeah, so 10 years have passed. And the second one, who doesn't live on Earth and doesn't have any experience on Earth, would say, years, what's that? And then the first spirit would say, Okay, come with me. Let's use our special spiritual vision and let's focus on that star. See that star there? Oh, that one that is to the left? No, that's too big. The tiny one to the right. So then they focus on our sun. And then, okay, now see that planet that's circulating that star? Oh, the one with rings, the big one. No, no, the tiny, tiny little one, the third one. And they say, oh, yeah, okay. So you see, every time that planet completes a circumference, a cycle around that tiny star, that's a year. And, okay. Okay, well, what's the meaning of that? That's just a log. That has no meaning. That's just for us. In universal time, years, weeks, and days it doesn't change anything. The important thing is that everything is degrading. Everything. And this is not something new that we have figured out. This is in the 19th century, the century of discoveries. This transformation, this degradation was mathematically studied and determined. And it was given a name, transformation. But transformation in English or Portuguese or French is not that fancy. It has to be either Latin or Greek. Okay, so then they chose Greek. So they call entropy. Entropy, which means that everything we look, it tends to search for the lowest possible energy level. I'll explain. So you see this podium here. Okay, so that's wood. I'm touching it. It doesn't want to stay like this. It wants to disintegrate and go back and become sand. So the planet wants to be homogeneous. Everything wants to be homogeneous. It wants to go back to the earth. These walls, they don't want to become walls that continue being walls. They want to go back to the sand. So this is what we call entropy. It's a law of nature. There's nothing we can do. Our bodies, our cells don't want to continue being together. They want to dissociate and go live their life as amoebas. And even the atomic structure of the cell wants to decompose and go back to the earth. That's why we have to keep spending energy to make things still look the way we want them to look. You have to keep eating. You have to keep taking care of your house, your car, of whatever you have, or this thing here. In a few years, we're going to have to repaint it. We have to clean it. And if it degrades too much, we have to take it apart, throw it out, and buy a new one. And that will always happen. We are here now in a basement of a house. From this house, this basement, and everything that we see, the only thing that is going to remain forever, it's us. The spiritual part, us. Nothing else. Not even our bodies. Nothing else. And in order to prevent that, we have to keep inserting energy. Keep inserting energy. In terms of our bodies, is food. But it's all part of a major plan. Why is that matter behaves that way? In Spirit's book, Kardec asks that question. However, he doesn't mention the word entropy, just because at the time that Kardec was writing the codification, the big plan for the transformation of our world was being developed. So then we have the discovery of electromagnetism, or the codification of electromagnetism. We have, at the same time, we have the concept of evolution of species. At the same time, we have the development of thermodynamics. And at the same time, we have the codification of spiritism. Everything happened within those 10 years. So we see When we look from the spiritual point of view, you see the beauty of everything. It's just how everything fits together. And all that, it gave the support that we needed to get where we are now, to understand the way we understand now. So in question 728 from the Spirit's book, Kardec, thinking about this constant degradation that it's always surrounding us, he asks the spirits, is destruction a law of nature? And the spirits answer, it is necessary for everything to be destroyed in order to be reborn and regenerated. What you call destruction is no more than transformation that is aimed at renewing and improving living beings. So this is very important. When we incarnate, when we receive a material body, and we come to this world, the world of matter, we are instantly inserted in these dynamics of constantly maintaining matter. And why is that important? Can we sit in our homes and not do anything all day? Let's say if we live by ourselves, we can always overload a partner and not do anything. But if we are by ourselves, can we sit and not do anything all day for the whole year? We can't. If you want to keep your house, your apartment, you have to clean it, you have to maintain it, and you have to work because your body also wants to degrade. So, in order to maintain your body alive, you need to eat. In order to eat, you need to get a job to pay for your food. And in this process, you have to deal with other human beings. You have to. You have to work on a crew, you have to work on an office, you have to go to work, you have to take traffic. So you have to interact. You feel hunger, you feel cold, you feel hot. So not only you have to interact, but you have to develop your intellect to make your life easier. So that's why we are inserted in this dynamics of constant degradation and maintenance, because we have no choice but to work to maintain our possessions, to work to feed our bodies. And if you have a job, if you start working, you need to learn to be sometimes humble, because you cannot all the time flare up your temper, or you lose your job and then you have to go back and look for a new one. You need to learn how to treat subordinates, how to treat your superiors in the hierarchy of whatever place you are working on. And this is an incredible learning for the spirit. So you see, the core of everything is the spirit, it's not the matter. The matter is a tool. If we were in the spiritual world and we don't have to worry about eating, we don't have to worry about maintaining heavy possessions, we don't have to interact at all. But forcing us to reincarnate, we have to do all that. You have to be careful. Your body starts aching, so you have to take care of your body. You have to think, what is the best way for me to maintain my own body? And all this it's very important. It makes us wiser. It makes us learning. And this degradation, or as an example, the degradation of our planet, climate change, it has been mobilizing so many people, so many minds to try to find a solution. That is one of the rarest occasions in our civilization that technology is coming out without the necessity for war. We know that one of the main drives for technology development was always trying to kill ourselves, right? One trying to kill the other, war. So then We developed many technologies because were either trying to attack different people, or we were afraid and wanted to defend ourselves. But this time, more and more people are coming together to develop technologies to save the planet for everybody. So this is one of the examples of the law of destruction or entropy that comes to help us grow and develop. And then we get to the point where I wanted to. Now I can develop the angle that I wanted to develop. After all this explanation and the constant degradation of matter, does it make any sense to attach ourselves to matter? Whatever type of matter. Doesn't make any sense to attach yourself to something that you know is going to degrade by a law of nature, an universal law. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So even our bodies, we see today people that the goal of their lives is to make their bodies prettier and prettier. So to try to follow an impossible standard, an illusion of beauty that sometimes destroys their health and destroys the body that they want to make it prettier. There's nothing you can do to make that body look like that. Maybe for a few years. But then the law of destruction will catch up with you. There's nothing you can do. You're going to grow old if you're lucky. So that is going to happen. There's nothing you can do. If you don't grow old and you die before you grow old, your body still is going to degrade even faster. So it makes no sense to make the goal of our incarnations anything that is material. And that involves whatever possessions we have, cash, capital assets, whatever. It makes no sense because we are spirits. And if we think, how many possessions have we had over the centuries that we don't even remember? Many. So then comes the question, what is it that we really possess? Do we really possess anything? And this is actually on chapter 16 of the Gospel according to Spiritism, on an item whose title is True Ownership. And the Spirit tells us, humans truly possess only what they can take with them from this world. What they find upon arriving, and what they leave behind upon departing, they can only enjoy during their stay. By all means, enjoy it. Enjoy what we have. Be thankful for what you have. But remember that is a lease. It's a lease. It's not yours. It's not yours. Everything that you can touch, everything that is for the body, is not yours. It's for you to enjoy while you are here. And that's it. So the gospel continues. What then do they truly possess, the spirits? Nothing that is for the use of their body, but everything that is for the use of their soul. Intelligence, knowledge, moral qualities. Everything that you learn, it's yours. Every friend that you make, friendship, that's yours. How many times we read in André Luiz books that a spirit discarnates and it finds himself in trouble in the spiritual world and kind of lost, and then there is the prayer of a friend. It's like a candle, and then that prayer helps that spirit, because there's a credit in making a friend and maintaining friendship. That's a credit that's yours and is going to be with you forever. The same thing as being a husband, a wife, a son, a daughter, a leader, an employer, an employee. All this, the only thing that matters is the relationship with the other spirits. It's whatever love you cultivate is yours, is going to be with you forever. Forever. That's what is yours. Education, whatever you learn in your life, the experiences that you have, this is all yours. The virtues that you fight to develop, that addiction that is so hard, and you fight every day of this life to beat that addiction, to not fall again. That's yours. It's your victory. It's going to be with you forever. This is the possession of the Spirit, nothing else. The rest is just for us to enjoy while we are here. I have a story of a friend of mine. I when I graduated my undergrad, I think it was 2003, we started working together on a project. Actually, many projects. Sit down, hanging out, and talking about what we would build to to solve this or that problem. And we worked really hard. So one of the projects was to develop a security system for a railway or a train that we have in the south of Brazil. And we could only work overnight, because that's when the train was standing still. And we worked really hard. And this friend, he so I worked with him on some projects, and then I went to another way and another path in my career. And this friend, he had his own company and another job that he would go at night, working hard, working hard, working hard, and then he saved a lot of money, a lot of money. Then he passed away because he destroyed his health because of so much work, and he actually could not enjoy anything. He he passed away very, very young. He had completely white hair since his 30s, and he left everything for his family. A few years ago, he came on this mediumship table, and through another medium, and he wrote a letter where he mentioned the projects that we worked together, details of the projects that we only the two of us knew, because we worked together there. And then he told me to talk to his son, to tell him not to work too hard. Don't work too hard. So between this whole and he told me I was always talking to him about the spirits and spiritism, and he didn't like it very much because he was a Catholic. And then in this letter he writes, "Man, you are right. I'm here now. They are all around me. So I give it to you. You're right." So when we think about this, many details of the project or the companies that we worked for, they fade away. I'm going to forget eventually. But his friendship, I remember. We are still connected. So this is mine and his. This is our possession. Everything else, it's very important, is our job, our duty to society to make it better while we are here, and we enjoy while we are here. When we go to the other side, all this, we just disconnect. Okay, that was my life there. Now I'm going to follow my spiritual path. Now we think about And in the opposite direction, does that mean that I should not care at all for matter? No, that's not what it means. You're still here. You have to take care of your body. You have to take care of your possessions. And in the same chapter that I mentioned before, from the Gospel according to Spiritism, we'll read there, the truth of the matter is that humans have the mission of laboring for the material improvement of the planet. They must reclaim it, cleanse it, and make it suitable to someday receive the entire population that its range can bear. It's very interesting and mysterious. So what is the spirit? So this was written in 1860 something, when the population of our planet was 1.5 million. 1.5 billion. Now we are on 8 billion, around 150 years later, 170 years later. That never happened before. And this is only possible because we made our world better in terms of technology. We made our lives better. Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible for all these spirits to reincarnate here. And why is it that they have to incarnate? We all hear 8 billion incarnates. Because this is a crucial moment of the existence of this planet. And they want as many spirits as possible to experience it. They put us all together to try to have the last chance, let's say, to make this planet better. And that's why the spirits were always there. The difference is that there were more spirits in the spiritual world than in the material world. Now what they're doing is that they're scraping the umbral, and they're, okay, you guys all out now. Everybody to Earth. I want everybody incarnated now. That's your last chance. If you don't learn now, you're going to continue learning, but not here, in another place, special for you. So all this is connected. We have this mission to make the place, our world better. Because we're going to go back here. We'll come back here. Maybe some of us will go to another planet, but that planet as well will be our mission to make it better and better and better. So we improve ourselves by making our lives better. And the matter around us also becomes more evolved to a point where I don't know how many thousands of years, this clock that we call our planet, we'll have another civilization look into our planet. Oh, that planet is not inhabited. I don't see anybody there. And we'll all be here. But we'll be in such a different dimension in terms of frequency of our bodies that civilization will look and say, oh yeah, that is not possible for life to grow there. Because we'll have worked so much to make our planet better that will become less dense, and our bodies too. So it's our responsibility while we are here to work for our civilization, for our city, for our house, for our bodies. And at the moment that it's our time to go, we just leave it all behind. Not the people, not the spirits. We leave it, the matter, the life that we were living. Now you continue. There will be another page on the book of your eternal life. And then comes another indagation or another doubt that surfaces, which is what about the accumulation of wealth? What about people who get rich? Are those sinners? This is not news. When Jesus was among us, he went to visit a city on that region that he was, we called cities, but they were villages. You can walk from one to the other. You could see the other one. This is all, everything around the Galilean Sea was really, really, really close. So people knew about Jesus and his teachings. People came from other cities, and people knew when he would go to visit. Oh, Jesus is coming! Jesus is coming! And there was this publican, this rich person named Zacchaeus, and he loved Jesus' teachings. And when he knew that Jesus was coming, there was a lot of people around Jesus, and he was a very short guy, so he climbed a tree to see Jesus. And Jesus sees him. He said, Zacchaeus. He already knew the guy. So Zacchaeus, come, get down off that tree. Come, I'm going to bring my apostles to your house. And so then they all go to Zacchaeus' house, huge mansion with a lot of servants. And the apostles, including Peter, they were, what are we doing here? This guy is a rich person. So it's like a sinner. He's wrong, of course. What is Jesus doing here? And then they learned the way that that guy was treating the servants like family. So the servants, they had families that they could support because of Zacchaeus. They have jobs, and they all lived good lives. It's like it was like a small village, a family. So this guy, he had very good heart, and he treated all the servants with respect, and they were all happy. So he received the possibility and the gift of wealth, and he was using to make good, things. And Jesus used that situation to teach the apostles. It's not the amount of money that a person has; it's what you do with it. Wealth, it's one of the tasks that we are given. If we don't have wealth now, we will have someday. In one of our incarnations, we will be rich, because that's something that we need to learn. Why? If you are rich and you have an addiction, there's nothing limiting you to follow that addiction, because you have money to pay for whatever substance you want. So that's why we see people that get rich too fast. We see so many of them falling into crime because there's no limit for the addiction. If you have an addiction that it comes from several, when I say addiction, it's spiritual addiction, physical addiction, everything. If we come from several lives, and you have credit, so that the spiritual world want to help you, they're not going to make it rich. They're going to make you poor, so that you have no choice but let go of whatever addiction you have. So that's why wealth, it's a very difficult task. So, and this guy, Zacchaeus, he was using in the right way. And then Jesus says that the famous word, the famous sentence, blessed are you, faithful and good servant. So he was using that wealth as a servant of God. So it doesn't matter if you accumulate riches or if you're given that. What matters is how you use it. And when the moment comes, you let go. So you see, what I'm trying to bring here is a balance. I'm not saying that you should not save money. Of course we need to. This it's plan your life. Of course we need to save. What if something happens, you cannot work anymore? So we need to save at the same, but that saving cannot be the sole purpose of our life. You cannot attach our future to that. It's the same thing as, okay, I'm going to build a house for my family to last for 100 years. And then you put in an amount of sand. And then you attach yourself to that house. You want that house to be there. It's not going to be there. It's sand. It's going to sink. It's going to come apart. So that's everything that is matter. We use it. We enjoy it. We share it. Charity. There's no salvation without charity. We share it when we can. And when it's time, we let go. So it doesn't matter where we are, what we have. What matters is that the only thing that will be with us, it's the virtues of the Spirit. Friendships, families, knowledge that you acquire, your experiences. Those are things that are going to continue with us forever. And if you have a choice between a friend and money or a friend and possession, you already know the choice that makes sense. Never choose matter over a spirit. Even if it means that you're going to make less money, if you're going to be poor, it doesn't matter. Never choose anything spiritual over, or the opposite. Never choose anything material over spirit. All right? Thank you, guys. Do you have any questions?
Not really virtual, no, not in computer. We
She-
have a new thing that we are trying, which is if you don't feel like you can ask the question, you can write the question here and put into this box. But you're free to ask questions, make comments.
She had a question. Yeah.
So when you said that the stand wants to go back to Earth, what do you mean like that? Like why does it want to go back?
We don't know why. What do you
Rafael,
know?
can you please repeat the question?
Oh, yeah. So she's asking me, why is it that the stand wants to go back to earth? One wants to go back to dust and degrade. And the question is, that's God's will. So we don't know why. It's a law of nature that we can actually calculate the probability of this disintegrate. We all we know is that that's the way our nature is. For example, you have a glass of water and you put sugar on it. Then the sugar deposits at the bottom. If you leave it like that, it's going to become homogeneous. The sugar is going to disappear and you're going to have a solution that is sweet water. Or if you want, you can accelerate by just a little bit of energy. You just mix it a little bit, stir it, and it becomes a solution. But you cannot go in the other way. To make sugar come out of the water, it requires like a special lab, a lot of energy. So it's very easy for matter to become all together. So this stand here is very easy for it to become sand and go back to and become dust. But to make that dust as a stand, we need a special company with special machines. We need a lot of energy to do that. And that's the way our universe works. That's the law of destruction that we study in the Spirit's book. It is like that because as a spirits, we need to learn not to attach anything. We need to learn that it's not part of our real world. We are spirits. So we should not attach to anything that in a few centuries is not going to exist anymore. So that's the main reason. But why? It's God's will. Okay?
I think we have another question. No?
No?
No. Actually, I have.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, like you're saying, that the matter and the spiritual, we live in a society that is very rare. People choose the spiritual for the matter. So this is one thing that I can I can see. And when we are in this planet, when we will become a little bit more aware that yes, spiritual, it is much more important than, so I can see myself, since I started to study the spiritism, I can see the transformation and I see. But some people that I am connected, my friends, they don't understand that. So yeah, it is a very uh, it's very hard to balance sometimes and explain.
Okay, so I'm just going to repeat a little bit so that people.
Yeah.
So just so it's going to be on the microphone. So our friend here is saying that when in our world, in our society as is today, very few people choose the spiritual side. They always choose the material side. But that is, we are changing little by little. The very reason, or the very, not the reason, but the reality that makes this, the Toronto Spiritual Society, possible, it's an example. None of us here get any money. It's the opposite. We work hard, we get our salaries, and we maintain this. Many of you help. So why do we do that? Because we want spiritual growth. And this is, it's growing, it's popping, not just spiritism, any religion is popping all over the world. So little by little, we are going to get there. We are going to get there. We're all going to figure this out. There are right now, even in the company ethics, they are trying to understand that is the quality of life, treating well your employees. It's very important to maintain your employees there. So that boss that yells and humiliate, it's changing. That is frowned upon. That's not a good boss. He's not a leader. He's just a boss. So these little by little, the spiritual virtues are seeping in our society, little by little, and we are changing. We are.
I just want to make one comment on your question. This is the beauty of reincarnation. Today you are awakened by that. So you were open, your growth was open so you can embrace the Spirit's teachings, and you can make that turn into your life, and you feel that you're becoming a better person. So you were not that way a past incarnation. I was not that way in a past incarnation. So that's the beauty of the reincarnation, because we come back. God give us the next opportunity so we can grow. It's not by chance that we are all here today and we are eager to understand or to feel this Jesus words and work and all that he left for us in a way that now I understand. And maybe we won't be able in this lifetime to make choices that we know that those are good choices. Why? Why do we know that? Because we have all God's laws in our essence, in our spirit. So whenever you do something for the good, you feel, oh, that's my purpose. Oh, that feels so good. Why does that feel so good? Because you going, as we say, in a flow. It's something that you feel that is right. You feel good that you do it. So maybe there's a lot, this planet is filled with spirits that are different in their growth, in their spiritual growth. They are all different, but we are all the same. So understanding the one that doesn't act the way he should be, that you should be acting, it's understanding that we are all brothers and sisters. Maybe he's not ready to do it. maybe he will do it, but he will learn from you. He will get this in his mind and saying to himself, yeah, that's how I want to be. Even if he doesn't do this in a conscious way, the feeling is going to be in his soul, and he will want to do this. Okay?
No more questions? You're good? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rafael, for today. I think we can turn off the...
Oh, yeah.
And thank you all the people that are watching through the internet. And thank you for being here with us. Just a reminder, we changed the clock today. So next week, remember that, okay? And thank